Shadow Play now starting to open up a little, about a length and a quarter on her stablemate Ludlam, 2 lengths to Shoemaker, a half a Lassany and a couple Banker Under Fire. The favourite Moolah's over on the rails, third last. Second last is Gelignite Jack, and Wingrove tails as they work their way along the side of the track and have the 600 marker in their sights, and Shadow Play with the mouth open, a length on Ludlam, 2.5 a Lassany on the inside of Shoemaker, being tracked there by Banker Under Fire, who's got the favourite well and truly snooker, that's Moolah, and the last pair, Wingrove and Gelignite Jack on the swing now, and Shadow Play, a length and a half, Ludlam, a Lassany, the fence, Moolah can't get out, Shoemaker and Banker Under Fire in the centre of the track are starting to unwind. He's trying to get clear Brown on Moolah, finally extricates the horse now, he's going after Banker Under Fire and Shoemaker, and Moolah, once he saw daylight, he quickly cruised up to Shoemaker and Banker Under Fire, headed them off, and Moolah's drawing away, and Moolah on the line, about a half length to Shoemaker. Third was Banker Under Fire, followed by a Lassany, and then a break to Wingrove, Gelignite Jack, Ludlam, and Absolute was Shadow Play. Well, those that had taken the short price about Moolah, just a little worried, swinging for home, but Corey Brown was able to get him around the leaders, and he's a pretty adaptable gelding, and he was able to sprint quickly once Corey got him balanced. He raced out after Shoemaker and Banker Under Fire, and although Shoemaker battled on pretty well, the favourite Too Good. He's a nice horse, Moolah. He's going to pay 210 and 120. He's by Kenny Ladd from Coin Case, isn't he? Well named. Yes, another good name to Suzanne Philcox, who earns all the plaudits for the naming of the Crown Lodge horses. Johnny Hawkes, of course, the trainer for the Ingham brothers. Number 4, Moolah first. 6 is second. Shoemaker, Scott Pollard, Fatari, trainer Ross Stitt, $1.60. And 1 Banker Under Fire third. Glenn Boss for Gerald Ryan, $1.60. Number 5, Lassany was the official fourth. The New South Wales Quinella, $7. Exacta, $11.20. The trifecta, $25. The first 4, $125.50. And the special dividend on the extra double, $2 neat. So the winner, Moolah, has now had 7 starts for 5 wins and a third, and there are more in store. Runner-up, Shoemaker by Celestial Bounty from Slingbacks. Very genuine horse. 30 starts, 8 wins, 6 seconds and 7 thirds. And Banker Under Fire by British Banker from Lady Camilla. And he's been very genuine. 12 starts, 7 wins, a second and a third.
Okay, Ian, leaving it there.
Spree running 58.86. And they're just about ready for race number 4 today. Now the line is good. Set to go, Tully Dane favourite. All Courage back to beat it. They're off and running. Jumped in a fair line too. Fashion Flame has gone back after the start, and Bush Outlaw began well on the inside. All Courage and the Mookster going quickly, and the Little Tacker's right there with them. Settling down, the Mookster out wide. Just led the Little Tacker, pushing up inside of Bush Outlaw, the rail. All Courage is very wide up, running fourth. He has to come back now from Super Suave. Tully Dane outside it. A length and a half go on spending, and 2 to Gallopini and Fashion Flame. At the 600 metre mark, Bush Outlaw, the rail, on the outside, the Little Tacker. 3/4 the Mookster third. Right behind them, Super Suave fourth. A half then to Tully Dane. A neck then sixth, the outside, the Gold Cap. All Courage, a length and a half go on spending. Gallopini and Fashion Flame, they turn for home. 400 to go. Bush Outlaw on the inside. 3/4 Little Tacker, and Super Suave gets out and travels up to the leader pretty quickly now. A length and a half, Tully Dane. Then All Courage under some pressure from Gallopini. Super Suave hit the front now from Bush Outlaw at the 200. All Courage down the middle with Go On Spending. Super Suave not finding much. Is Gallopini and Go On Spending. Tully Dane driving through on the inside. Go On Spending and Tully Dane come down to the line, and Go On Spending has just won from Tully Dane. Third's close. All Courage or Fashion Flame and Gallopini out wide. A gap in the race further back then came at the head of the others would have been Super Suave, who stopped quickly after hitting the front from Bush Outlaw, the Mookster, and on the outside of those, last of all, is the Little Tacker.
And the winner, number 5, Go On Spending, Reese McLeod, at $16 and 3.37. Tully Dane at $1.50 for third, 4 All Courage, $1.60, or 3 Fashion Flame, $3.80.
Number 5, Go On Spending, Reese McLeod, has won from 7 Tully Dane, a race that changed dramatically in the straight, and All Courage has just got third ahead of Gallopini and Fashion Flame. When they turned, Bush Outlaw led, but quickly Super Suave got to Whitmer Gold Colours and raced up and claimed the lead. No sooner got there, he was flat. All Courage had been posted a little wide. Tully Dane got out, and then the 2 coming down the centre were Go On Spending and Gallopini with big runs. Momentarily, Tully Dane hit the lead, but Go On Spending has reached it in the last 3 or 4 hops to get up and win. So it's 5, 7, 4 and 2. 5, 7, 4, 2 to race number 4. So
and ahead of Totes, Newcastle Totes.
10 Muscaba, $870, $2. 3 Casual Story, $380. 12 Princess Bella, $150. Quinellas paid $65.30. Exacta, $82.40. Trifecta, $665.60. 2 lengths, a length and a quarter. Race time, 1:11.57. 35 dead, the last 600.
And at Caulfield, race 4, the numbers there, 5, 7, 4 and 2. Go on spending, 16 the win, 330 for the place, 7 Tully Dane, 150. For All Courage, third, 160. Quinella, $30.30. The Exacta, $69.10. Trifecta, 5, 7 and 4. $335.10. The first 4, 5, 7, 4 and 2. $1,927.80. It was a half, 3/4, and the race time 1:04.9.
On 2KY Racing Radio, TAB dividends are brought to you by Aristocrat Pokies. The games people play for fun.
Fifth at land equal third picks. This race is over 1,800 metres, an event for mares, and they're moving in well. Moolah won the previous, number 4, ridden by Corey Brown, beat 6 Shoemaker, 1 Banker Under Fire, and number 5 ran 4th. Painted Thunder took the 2nd, and Magic Marbo won the 1st. Now, in comes Scale the Heights. Only the one to move in at Royal Randwick, and that is the favourite Laguna Lake. Nice type of mare. In the Goori Pastoral colours is Brian York for Gay Waterhouse, and Laguna Lake comes up almost into the outside gate. Carla Licia standing well for Bernadette Cooper, trained by Gary Portelli. Bernadette and Gary combined to win on Thursday night with Okanui in the Triscay Stakes, a listed race at Canterbury Park. Her 4th consecutive win, Okanui. Now, Laguna Lake gave a little trouble prior to going in at Canterbury the other day, but no real problem this afternoon. She's there, and we'll soon see them off. A field of 9. Ready now at the 1800 bar. Pacific Joy up on the hind legs. Back on all fours. And they're off this time, and Pacific Joy was one of the smartest out, commencing well. Spirit of the Night and No Limit. Carla Licia, Scalar Heights, and here's Laguna Lake from the outside alley, dashing across and is trying to lead. And as they cover 250 metres now, Laguna Lake leads narrowly from Scalar Heights and the grey Carla Licia. Can't get in Laguna Lake at the moment, however, followed by No Limit, Spirit of the Night, Pacific Joy, Sugarland, Jactress, and two-time Tut. Well, Laguna Lake's race to the lead down the back of the track into the 1200. She opens up a length and a half on Carla Licia and a couple to Scalar Heights, No Limit. Just shading Scalar Heights on its inside, and then Spirit of the Night, followed closely by Sugarland, Pacific Joy, Jactress, the rails, and 3 lengths to two-time Tut. They race along to the top corner, and here at the 1,000 marker, and the favourite Laguna Lake out by 3/4 of a length on Carla Licia. 2 away, third is No Limit. A half to Scalar Heights, a length Pacific Joy wide out, and then comes at the head of the other Spirit of the Night in the middle, and over on the inside next is Sugarland. Second last in the field is Jactress, and 2.5 two-time Tut. 700 metres ahead of them here in Laguna Lake from Carla Licia, and then Scalar Heights and No Limit, followed a length further away and wider out Pacific Joy, followed by Spirit of the Night, Sugarland hemmed away, Jactress next to last, and still bringing up the rear is two-time Tut as they wheel for home, and Laguna Lake straightens up a half to 3/4 of a length on Carla Licia. No Limit is trying to push Scalar Heights out of the way to get into the clear, succeeds. Then Pacific Joy, Sugarland, Jactress. Spirit of the Night's back second last, and Absolute's two-time Tut, but Bernadette Cooper takes Carla Licia clear. No Limit is going after it. Laguna Lake is history. No Limit pounced now on Carla Licia. Late on the scene is Spirit of the Night, but it's No Limit. No Limit from Spirit of the Night and Carla Licia, and then Sugarland, Jactress and Laguna Lake. Further away, Scalar Heights, two-time Tut and Absolute, Pacific Joy. Stand by for placings. No Limit. Written by G. Boss for Francis Smith at Wyong. Number 3 on tab limited, $13.50 and $3.40. No Limit scoring. He's had a battle with Carla Licia, and Spirit of the Night only really wound up in the last 150 metres and battled on pretty well with Sugarland just behind the place getters, but No Limit has proven too good. Second will be Spirit of the Night, number 2 at $1.90. And Carla Lissier battling on for third, number 7. And her dividend is 3.20, and the official fourth is number 6, Sugarland. The winner by Dr. Grace from our Red Star, a brown mare, a 5-year-old, and as I say, Francis Smith training Glenn Boss aboard and has run 1 minute 50.13, and that is a new class record. It betters the previous of 150.65 held by Tracy Ann. We'll just make a bird of that. 150.73. Oh, no, it's just outside, sorry. I looked at the 1 and the 7. I couldn't see the bar on the 7 from the infield timer, so it's just outside the class record. The first 4 dividend is 3,668.70, a Quinella of 47.30, exact is $100.10, and the trifecta 776.30, the extra double 4 and 3, $52.30. The runner up there, and the superfecta numbers are now to hand, 327,684.
Greg Childs has just come off Elegant Fashion, no doubt wanting to give this horse a rest in these warm conditions. And again, with that angle we're seeing at the moment, you can't see this big crowd of racecourse workers who are in front of the starting gates at this moment. Looking ahead then to Randwick, and we'll have late mail shortly, Eagle Farm. Magic Duck rates ahead of Radiance of Apollo, Nepal and Treasure Time. 1 from 2 and 4, they're number 5. Magic Duck, Brad Pengelly has the sit aboard Magic Duck. Best of the value is on Unitab at $2.70. Malcolm Johnston prepared last start Canterbury winner. Brad Pengelly and Malcolm have had a wonderful time of things the last month or two. Malcolm paying Brad the ultimate accolade after Shags winning Caulfield. The frustrations continue. And a disagreement which has had no resolution and possible disruption to this important meeting. Greg Childs, a hand on his hip. No doubt the punters are frustrated. It's frustrating that this couldn't have been resolved prior to now, and 3 minutes past start time. Standing by for Alan Russell's late mail at Eagle Farm, race number 4. We've got 7 minutes until race time. Confirming Alan Russell's numbers in just a moment for you as the runners go onto the track. And as they do that, Alan Russell, they're talking about 38 being a bit hot for them at Caulfield. It was a bit warmer a few weeks ago, wasn't it, up there?
Yeah, Magic Millions Day, Brendan, it was well over 40, so yeah, it gets a bit hotter in Queensland and Melbourne, but they're not copping it too well down there by the looks of things. Brendan, race 4 here, mate. There seems to be a big push for the top weight Run Just Run, so I've put it on top. Looked very well in the enclosure. Very unlucky at its last start. Got severely interfered with, and I think it'll be the one to beat. Beat number 2, Princess Clang. Looked beautiful. Very good form of late. Back up to the 1,200 metres today will suit her much better than the 1,000 metres last start. So she'll be hard to beat. Then I put in number 7, Natty. He won a Class 1 at his last start at the Sunshine Coast. Won very impressively. Obviously, it's a big jumping class, but looked well, and he's an on-pace runner. He'll give a good sight. After that, I went number 11, which is Brave Action. He's a beautiful-looking colt by Brave Warrior. He's only had the 2 runs, and he's shown quite a bit. I think he'll be a big improver here today. He had no luck at all at his last start at the Sunshine Coast, so I think he'll be a big improver. Away from them, there's probably another 6 or 7 chances in this race. It's very open. There's, you know, horses like Poetic Heights has got a good chance. Star of Telesto, Shannon Lee, Kalachi, there's plenty of chances, you know, they all look well in the yard, so. But my numbers were 1, 2, 7 and 11.
Okay, Alan, good luck with those tips. More news at Caulfield will again show you what's happening. The Melbourne Racing Club has requested that pictures that we're now luckily being able to show you weren't to be sent to Sky, which is this barricade of racecourse workers who are threatened because of the mercury rising to walk off the job. It's the Australian Workers' Union in dispute with Racing Victoria. All we've been told, apart from the fact is we weren't supposed to be seeing these pictures, is that Des Gleeson has having a chat with Kevin Hayes, the chairman. Alf, for your thoughts?
Brendan, look, it's a pretty touchy one. It's Racing Victoria's problem, really, so I'm led to believe. Now, this is the Melbourne Racing Club. Staff obviously shift from the Victorian Racing Club to the Melbourne Racing Club, and what it is, apparently their senior power broker is here discussing the issue with the employees. Now, there is somebody there from Racing Victoria negotiating at this point in time. Whether a resolution takes place or not, I do not know. And that's about all I can enlighten you with at the moment. It's not much, but you know, the agreement has never really been, well, it's been proposed, but it's never been put in place. And I think they've just waited a little bit late to actually put pen to paper here.
It's unfortunate, Alf, isn't it, that the resolution isn't reached and it gets to this embarrassing situation where the races are put on hold.
Well, that's exactly right. And I think the unfortunate part about them is the fact that you've got clients that actually own all those horses around there, and they're primed. Listen, we get jockeys that ride every day under these conditions. They don't complain. They're happy to do it. Trainers don't complain. They're prepared to bring their horses here all the time. And yet, unfortunately, a situation like this occurs with employees.
Just amazing. And what temperature do you believe it is there today? About 37 odd degrees, 38?
Well, actually, I've just been informed it's only just got over 35 degrees. And apparently discussions took place that anything over 35 degrees. So, you know, I think we've got to check out a few thermometers here.
I'll tell you what, 2 weeks ago, 43.5 degrees, watching the jockeys and the horses. Yes, it was tiring and draining for the jockeys, but they got on with their job.
And everybody performed.
Absolutely, Alf. So I think it's a moot point you've just made, and one which frustrates, no doubt, the viewer, although there are issues which are dear to the hearts of the racecourse workers, Racing Victoria and the Australian Workers' Union. All we can do is take a short break as we await news to emanate from Caulfield as we count down to the running of race 4 at Eagle Farm, late mail numbers 1, 2, 7 and 11.
If you love racing, your Sky Channel venue gives you even more.
At Eagle Farm, across the line, 6th the winner, and 681 are the placings confirmed. So Kalachi's paid $4 for the place, $1.60 run, just run, 4th to be confirmed. Randwick will follow, latest in betting. Jockeys are up, and they are heading onto the track. 6 minutes off. $2.30 for Magic Duck, $2.30 for Magic Duck. Moving in well in New Zealand, there's page 1 of betting, and the one heading out is Magic Duck in the Malcolm Johnston colours. 4th at Eagle Farm was number 2, first for New South Wales, $3,450.60. The caller for the New Zealand Cup is Tony Lee.
Here in force, the people from the arts, the people from the fashion, and they're gathered together to enjoy one afternoon, courtesy of the Wellington Racing Club. It is Wellington Cup Day 2002. If you're not here, it's a disgrace if you could have been. If you couldn't have made it, enjoy it here on the Trackside Channel this afternoon. Well, we're set and ready by the looks of things. Cyclades will start the favourite, Mike, at 5:22.15.
Just a few to come forward here for the running of the Lion Brown Wellington Cup. There was one that we just saw move out of camera shot. That was Gordon's Grant Cooksley mount for Paul O'Sullivan. The Oaks Manawatu Classic winner in Gordon's, and there's a bolter.
Not on call, is it? It's on call. This is a tragedy. On call has got away from the start, and Leanne Isherwood could well see a dream disappear. The drama of racing. She has enjoyed 2 successes in the Wellington Cup with Miss Bailey and Dancing Lord. This mare here was a legitimate chance to make it 3, and now the crowd wait in expectation as we try and get On Call under control. Oh, I could just feel what Paul Wiley feels about this. It'd be the worst feeling in racing to have a horse get away from the start in a feature race and perhaps not take her place in the Lion Brown Wellington Cup of 2002. The heart must just ache for Bill Wiley and the team. His daughter, Julie, who put so much work into her. She went an ordinary race 12 months ago on the first day and went out and won the Summer Cup, and they were hoping that Deja Vu could happen again, that she could go pretty ordinary on the first day and come out and win the prize.
Latest news from Caulfield. Unfortunately, the meeting between the staff, ground staff, and Melbourne Racing Club, it's a Victorian Racing Limited issue. Des Gleeson has instructed all jockeys to return to the mounting enclosure because of the welfare for the animal themselves. This meeting is taking a lot longer than first thought, so the horses have returned under a directive of Chairman of Stewards Des Gleeson for a horse welfare issue.
For Bill Wiley, as he walks away, escorted by a number of the Wellington Racing Club people. There are people here that are just wrapping themselves around Bill in commiseration. And don't you feel for that lady there too, Leanne Isherwood, who could have possibly taken out her third Wellington Cup, but the horse has got away from the start and has been declared a late scratching.
Welcome back to Randwick. Runners arriving at the barriers for race 5 on the program, and Magic Duck is a clear-cut favourite to the race at $2.30, Wayne.
Yes, Joe, the only query with her, she has got a share of weight here, but she's very, very consistent. She's only had the 4 starts and she's won 2 and 2 placings. She's very, very speedy. If they leave her alone in front, she's going to be pretty hard to run down. She's never been on this inside track, but I think the beauty of horses that have got a lot of speed, they can get out of the barrier, get travelling, the jockey can help them along, and they do seem to be able to handle this track a bit if they've got that little bit of speed. So up in the weights a bit, that's only query. She's a stocky sort of little filly, so I think she'll carry the weight. As I say, if they leave her alone, she's definitely the one to beat.
An eye-catcher in the parade ring was the John Hawkes trained filly Nepal, having her first start in Sydney this afternoon.
Yes, that's right, Joe. She's had the 5 runs and only been out of place twice. Looked very fit, as you always become to expect from the John Hawkes train runners, always presented so beautifully, and she's a bit of a, we haven't seen her up here before, but her form in Melbourne's quite good, so I've thrown her as my second choice.
And Treasure Time is being kept safe in the bedding?
That has, Joe, and she's very fit. She's had the 2 runs back from a break now, and she you can attest to this. You were there with me watching her parade around. She was just jumping out of her skin, really wanting to get on with it, and I expect her to run a cheeky race today.
Any other chances?
I'll throw in number 3, Bridgie Boo, only a lightly raced filly from the Bruce Cross stable. Is resuming here today, but her form last preparation was quite good, and she has had a trial to lead her into this. First run in the race, she won a race at Kembla Grange, and she beat a filly by the name of Apo Quality, who'd come out and won at Canterbury on Thursday night, so it's pretty good form. They brought her here on the inside track at her next run, and she put in a shocking display, but I believe all wasn't right with her on that occasion. She was put away, given a bit of a break. She's come back and trialled all right, and whatever she does today, she will improve on. But I believe the Connection's expected to run a pretty cheeky race here.
Wayne's numbers 1, 4, 3 and 5 in the 5th event here at Randwick. Fillies will be moving in shortly. A clear-cut favourite, Magic Duck, for the informed combination of Malcolm Johnston and Brad Pengelly.
Speaking of Brad, as we await New Zealand to move forward, let's hear what Brad Pengelly says about Magic Duck.
Brad, you're riding in great form at the moment, and Magic Duck's racing in good form. Can you two combine for a win here in the next?
Yes, hopefully. She won very well the other day at Canterbury against on a Saturday, so she's gone up 2 kilos, which is going to be her acid test. But if she races up to her run last start, she should be very, very hard to beat.
That was after leading last start, that win. What are you anticipating doing today from Barrier 9?
I'll anticipate to do the same thing, Joe. I don't think I'll get as easy as run as what I did last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, but I'll be playing it by ear, and if they go a bit too hard, I'll be just coming back and giving her cuddling her a bit to help her carry the weight. But as I said, she'll be forward in the race, and she'll be very competitive.
What about Terrible Taurus later today?
Joe, he's a horse where his last start was a touch disappointing. He won quite well here. He beat Impregnable in the at-sea quality race. Back to 1400 metres. I think 1500 metres was a touch too far last start. And but the only thing is he goes forward and he's drawn a wide gate, and he's probably going to be a big chance of getting caught a little bit wide. So hopefully Luck will play a big favour to him, and if we get that, well, he's going to be competitive too.
A light book of rides. Is Magic Duck the best of the two?
My word, Joe, yeah.
Thanks for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Okay. Brad Pengelly, he's engaged on the well-fancied Magic Duck in the next here at Royal Randwick. For Malcolm Johnston, the stable and Brad combining for much success of late. The biggest win, of course,
racing now in the great race. Off to a fantastic start as well. Narouser and getting back is Royal Emerald, and Big Hustler and Blanchard drops back in the early part of the running. Reign Supreme and Ebony Honor begin quickly, and here comes Rough Patrick right across the face of the field. He's heading to the lead, and Gordon's is tracking him up. Just behind these TRC, Ebony Honor the inside, a little deeper out is Uncle, and a mare pushes forward for a position as well, and Soldier Blue going forward quickly around the outside of them. Trafalgar Flyer next, and then we have Semper Fidelis inside of Narouser. Cyclade settles back with Big Hustler. Nio's out a little bit deeper as they're about to swing into the straight on their first occasion. Blanchard is second to last, and Royal Emerald is the last one. It's Rough Patrick coming down towards the 250 metres, joined by Soldier Blue on the outside, and they go stride for stride in the cup. A mare right on them, and Ebony Honor's going to end up with the run of the race. Semper Fidelis next, and Reign Supreme striding forward out a little bit deeper as they come past this very big crowd here at Wellington. The next back behind these is Narouser. There's Reign Supreme making a quick bit of circuit out and strides to the lead now. So takes up the running from Rough Patrick. Soldier Blue is third, and Ebony on a fourth inside of a mare. The next
Set Randwick. They're off this time. And Mozart's Pie near the inside, best out. Letitia jumped well with Radiance of Apollo. And here's Magic Duck, going very, very quickly, and the favourite sails to the lead by 3 now. Second posse is occupied by Nepal. Mozart's Pie third from Letitia. Wider out is Eulalie. And then Radiance of Apollo, followed by Pixie's Bridgie Boo racing roughly, and last Treasure Time. Pengelly endeavouring to steady Magic Duck, and onto the side she goes at the 800. A little more than a length on the stable pair, Nepal and Eulalie, who's wide. A length to Mozart's Pie, and then a break of a length and a quarter Letitia, Radiance of Apollo. Pixie's is back third last from Treasure Time, and absolute is Bridgie Boo. They pass the 600, and Magic Duck the favourite, more than a length clear on Nepal and Eulalie. And then Mozart's Pie, followed by Radiance of Apollo, Letitia, Pixie's, Treasure Time, and still last Bridgie Boo, setting sail for the judge. And Magic Duck a length and a half clear on Eulalie. Nepal's under pressure, and then Radiance of Apollo, followed by Treasure Time, starting to unwind. Magic Duck, Pengelly shaking her along. I don't think there's a lot there. Radiance of Apollo claimed the favourite, and Treasure Time is after Radiance of Apollo. Radiance of Apollo a neck in front of Treasure Time, almost level now. Treasure Time goes to Radiance of Apollo. Treasure Time did best. Treasure Time from Radiance of Apollo. Magic Duck walked home third. Photo fourth, Pixies and Letitia. And then the stable pair, Eulalie and Nepal. Bridgie Boo's run second last and tailed off Mozart's Pie. And here's Wellington.
Further away, Kensington Flyer and Royal Emerald. Soldier Blue took over early in the run home. A mare in Narouser, the Southerners after them. Wider out, here's Gordon's. She's starting to put in a run. Semper Fidelis getting through, and then Cyclade starting to track up, and Ebony Honor is bursting through the centre, and Blanchard right down the outside. Blanchard and Ebony Honor. Cyclade's in the centre's flying home. It's going to be close. Cyclade's Ebony Honor. Heads up, heads down. Cyclade's the favourite, I think, grabbed the cup in the very last stride. Ebony Honor, the bridesmaid again, and Blanchard third. Narouser, Gordon's behind them, a great cup, and then the mare. They were followed by Soldier Blue, Kensington Flyer, Nio, Reign Supreme, Royal Emerald, Semper Fidelis, Big Hustler, TRC Uncle, and Rough Patrick.